Part 2, let's get into what happened to the teacher who mocked the wrong student. So after the scratches on her hand, nobody could explain that. Miss Alvarez also started missing school. And when she did show up, she looked different. Hollow cheeks, dark circles around her eyes. It seemed like she hadn't slept in weeks. And visibly, she looked weak. Like her hands would just shake when she's holding the chalk to write on the board. It would fall out of her hand. Other kids in the class started getting freaked out by this teacher because they said that they seen her talking to herself. And others swore that they heard her crying in the bathroom, praying in a language that no one recognized. And then the noises. At first, it was a faint tapping at her classroom window, although they were on the second floor. Later, some students started talking about that they heard footsteps pacing back and forth behind her desk, and no one was there. And Zanab says she will never forget the day that her teacher froze mid-sentence, staring at the corner of the room, eyes wide open as if she's seeing someone standing there. And she whispered, "Leave me alone," before rushing out of the classroom. And one night, much like Martin Luther King, Zanab had a dream. She dreamt that Miss Alvarez stood barefoot outside of her grandmother's house in Edo State, her clothes shredded, and her skin looked dirty as if it had dirt on it. And Miss Alvarez in this dream was begging, crying, saying she was sorry. But behind Miss Alvarez, something shifted in the dark. Something with long, spidery arms. You couldn't see this creature's features or anything. All you saw were sharp teeth and the really long limbs. Well, that creature reached out and touched the teacher's shoulder. And when that happened, Miss Alvarez screamed so loud in the dream that it woke Zanab up. When Zanab woke up, she said she was gasping for air. The next day, Zanab went to school, and when Zanab got to school the following day, the teacher resigned. Officially, it was a nervous breakdown. However, in the school, the rumor started to spread pretty fast among students and teachers, as some said that they spotted her wandering the streets, barefoot, screaming about a woman in white who just would not leave her alone. Zanab herself, however, said she never saw her again. And Zanab said when she asked her grandmother to stop, she only laughed softly and said, "Never let anyone put shame on your blood. The spirits don't forget." And Zanab says till this day she doesn't know what terrifies her more. What happened to Miss Alvarez? Or the fact that her grandmother barely lifted a finger to make all of this happen across the world. Well, that completes this spooky story. If you have a spooky story that you want me to tell, please feel free to submit it to me right here on TikTok or DM me on Instagram, Rebecca_Journey. Follow me while you're there. And if you're looking for longer, better, and spookier stories, I tell long-form spooky stories on YouTube. We talk about everything spooky. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is on top of my page. Like I say at the end of every single video, I love you, my abducted humans. Past the moon, because the moon is too close. From your absolute favorite Haitian homegirl.